What a whirlwind the last couple of days have been. It seems that we just keep getting more and more information about what we can expect with Nintendo Switch 2, and Nintendo's plans seemingly coming unfolded right before our eyes. So what's up, Waluigi? Trent from Trentendo here. Today we're going to talk about everything that we know so far about Nintendo Switch 2. Because like I said, there's been a ton of stuff over the last couple of days. As well as, we'll kind of go back and see what we've learned the last couple of months. Because there was some trickles here and there, but like I said, the floodgates have just absolutely opened up over the last couple of days. So before we hop into all this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video so you guys are kept up to date with everything going on here at Trentendo. Let's see if we can get 20 likes on this. It really does help. I appreciate it. And let's just hop right in. So first things first, let's talk about one of the very first things that we've kind of speculated about Nintendo Switch 2 being the colored button theory. Now here, in this trailer right here, you're going to see Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door. This was kind of one of the first areas that we saw this between this and a couple other game trailers, showing off some colored buttons that aligned with the Super Famicom with their button scheme. It didn't make any sense for this game in particular right here because it was a GameCube game, so why would the buttons coordinate with that? We did see it in games like Super Mario RPG. That one would make a little bit more sense though, being that that was a remastered game from the Super Nintendo era. But so that was kind of the first little hint of maybe something we could expect to see with the Nintendo Switch 2, is maybe these colored buttons to try to help differentiate the Nintendo Switch 2 from that of the Nintendo Switch. Another thing that we have learned more recently is that we're probably expecting somewhere around 8-inch LCD screens. Now this is going to be a little bit bigger screen than we currently have on the Nintendo Switch. The downside being that it will be an LCD screen. So not many people are excited about that. That's kind of a little bummer, especially having had the OLED already. But I would imagine this will still be Nintendo's next upgrade version, if you will. They'll go back to an OLED version eventually. But for the launch of the system, it looks like we're going to be with an LCD screen. Next up, we have some reports coming out that we can expect to hopefully have a good amount of stock of this on hand. As I believe it was a Bloomberg report that stated where Nintendo is probably aiming to have around 10 million units in the first fiscal year. So that meaning not that there'll be 10 million units at launch, but from whenever the time this thing launches, assuming that it launches, somewhere around September is kind of the thought right now, if the reveal is here soon. So from September to March, that 6-month period really, we're going to see 10 million units of the Nintendo Switch 2, which is a lot. Now, it is still not going to be immune from scalped people. Like scalpers are still going to have a heyday with this thing at launch probably. It's still probably going to be difficult to get your hands on, but the whole goal and idea here is that should Nintendo really have that many units ready to go within the first 6 months of the launch of this thing, it should bode pretty well, because even if you can't get it right on the launch day, hopefully, not too long thereafter, we should be able to have a lot of people get their hands on this system. Now, that's kind of all the old stuff. This is the stuff that we've already talked about. This is the stuff that we've heard about for a little bit. Now we have this new information that has been coming out over the last couple of days, specific for Nintendo Switch 2. Now, first off, we do have this Nintendo Direct next week on the 15th that has been happening. That is supposedly happening. And at this point, we do have to take a quick reminder that everything with a grain of salt. None of this has been confirmed, even the stuff that we talked about previously with the older stuff and then the newer stuff. But the newer stuff in particular, I'm taking with a little less salt. There's too many people talking about it. There's too many people that have information and have sources that are all confirming and saying the exact same thing. So to me, this is still take it with a grain of salt, but I'm much more confident in that this is probably going to happen. So first up, like I said, we have this Nintendo Direct next week, and the idea being here that this is probably not going to be a general Nintendo Direct, which stinks, which, I kind of bummed about. I prefer to have a general Nintendo Direct. But the thought being here that the Nintendo is going to go in here with a partner showcase, probably showing off some of these new Microsoft titles that, as it seems Microsoft is getting ready to make that transition to third-party you know, putting their games across multiple systems. I shouldn't say transition to third party. They'll probably still have an Xbox. I don't think the Xbox is going to go anywhere anytime soon. It's going to be, though, that they're more willing to put their software on other platforms. So it seems like we'd probably get games like Hi-Fi Rush here. Maybe eventually, hopefully one day we'd get like a Rare Replay, things like that. So at this Nintendo Direct, though, that's probably what we're going to see, things like that. We'll see a Hi-Fi Rush. We'll see, you know, what other games are coming from third-party developers. Probably nothing that's going to be like, oh, this is so amazing, I'm so excited. Probably won't even get an update on Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. Now, this is just me personally as well. You know, I'm not maybe going to be super excited for a third-party showcase. There are people who, there'll probably be games that people will be excited for, but personally, I'm not going to be probably all that amped with what is shown here based off of what we know is coming. And I think, like I said, this is kind of that first pillar to show that Nintendo's getting ready to do something, because if they're not going to show off their own stuff, there's got to be something else coming up, because we don't know anything coming out the rest of this year. We got Paper Mario, we got Luigi's Mansion, and we got Princess Peach Showtime next month, and that's pretty much it. We got Donkey Kong versus Mario next week, but other than that, that's all we know. There's nothing else coming. So Nintendo has to give us something, and if they're only giving us a third-party showcase here, there's something else in the works behind the scenes. Now, kind of picking back off that, the next thing is coming from Nate the Hate, is the original source behind this, saying that he expects, and he is hearing, and he's been gathering information for 6+ months at this point, that Nintendo Switch 2 will be revealed sometime before the Game Developers Conference, which is on March 18th. So that gives us March 1st to March 15th, essentially, because I believe the 18th is a Monday, so you can take out that Saturday and that Sunday prior to that. So that gets you to the 15th, and then the March 1st, we're going to see the Nintendo Switch 2. And should this be the case, and this is, you know, we have people like Necrophilippe from Universal Nintendo confirming it. We've got Nate the Hate. Jeff Grubb has said, you know, that he would think that this makes sense, especially with the partner showcase. So with all that being said, like I said, everything's with a grain of salt, but there just seems to be too much fire at this point. It seems like we're going to get Switch 2 in a couple of weeks. So, you know, today is February 9th, so within the next month or so, we're going to see Nintendo Switch 2. And by doing so, they're then going to be able to showcase the Metroid Prime 4s. They're going to be able to showcase Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door with the release date, potentially. They're going to be able to showcase the new 3D Mario, the new Donkey Kong game. Whatever the case may be, they're going to show us what is coming down the pipeline, because they want to show it on the Nintendo Switch 2. There was a video that we did a couple of weeks ago on the channel where I said that Nintendo might have a problem with the February Direct, because what are they going to show if they want to show stuff on the Switch 2? And by doing a partner showcase and then holding this, you know, separate, you know, if it's a presentation, it sounds like it's probably going to be a trailer drop, and then maybe we'll get some more information along the way. But, you know, by doing that, instead of having a direct with it, they're going to be able to show their games on the Nintendo Switch 2 platform and just show them running silky smooth, you know, and it'll be a much better presentation for Nintendo than if they were to show some of these games on Nintendo Switch hardware. So that's kind of where we sit right now. We've got all this past information with the colored buttons, the LCD screens, the size of the screen, how many per production potentially. We got the Nintendo Direct coming next week. That's probably going to be a partner showcase, it sounds like. And then a couple of weeks after that, we are probably going to see Nintendo Switch 2 in some capacity. And don't forget, we're still going to have probably a Pokemon Presents here in a couple of weeks as well. So in the next, you know, the next month or so, we're going to have probably a Nintendo Direct, whether that's a general direct or a partner showcase. As I said, probably more likely a partner showcase. A Pokemon Presents, where we're probably going to get some new Pokemon games announced, because we don't know anything for Pokemon. And then the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal. So this is going to be a very, very exciting month for Nintendo Switch fans. I'm super excited. I hope you guys are too. So let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think? Does any of this make sense? You know, are you excited for this? Are you still taking things with a grain of salt? You know, like I said, I am, but I'm taking it with significantly less salt these days, as it seems there's too many people talking. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts down below, though. I hope you enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button, like this video on your way out. It really does help. I appreciate it. And until next time, catch you later.